Everybody is experiencing a little bit of COVID fatigue. We all want our lives to return to normal, being able to go out to restaurants, having play days, or just seeing a movie in a movie theater. But we are stuck in a pandemic lockdown. How can we effectively deal with the boredom of our daily monotony? Here with some guidance is clinical psychologist Dr. Sharon Saline. To the rescue, Dr. Saline.
Oh, thank you. I was telling you, Alana, before that I'm very familiar with this COVID frustration as we just recovered from COVID in my house. So let me launch into the tips because I think it's really important as we head into the winter with the increase in cases we're seeing right now, that we have some things we can do to break up the monotony. It's just kind of endless, and it's very hard for us as humans not to see a light at the end of the tunnel that's specific. Like, okay, I know in March I'm going to be able to do X. We just don't know that. So the first thing is to go outside. There's no doubt about it. Being in nature is good for your emotions and your sanity. Unless it's pouring rain, plan to take a walk or usher the kids to a nearby playground. The fresh air clears our minds, and the exercise pumps endorphins, those good feeling hormones, into our brains. Remember, there's no such thing as bad weather, just inadequate clothing.
Yes, that's so true, Dr. Saline. I mean, you can bundle up the kids and enjoy the fresh, cool air. Even if it's raining with big umbrellas and boots, you can stomp in some puddles, have a laugh. Just do something.
Exactly. You can cook a special meal. With your kids on board as your sous chefs, find a new recipe or two that you can prepare together. What are their favorite foods or your own that you miss the most? What's something new that you always wanted to try? Make a list of the necessary ingredients, go to the grocery store with them, put on your aprons, and start cooking. Light some candles and set the table in a festive way and dig in. Plus, you're doing something very valuable for your kids in the process, which is you're teaching them a critical life skill, cooking. And this is something that I think, if you can have one meal a week, that's a special experimental meal, that would really change things up a bit.
Yeah, I think so too. And you're right. It's a great opportunity to impart some skills to your children and have some fun doing something all together, nourishing yourself, literally.
And this fun factor is my next tip, which is inject some fun into your week. Whether it's dancing or a game of charades, reach out to other family members or some friends who like to have fun and are willing to do something a little zany. I know several teens who've hosted Zoom dance parties, and some adults who've played music in their yard and people came and danced at 6 or 8 feet apart. Some people watch a movie over Zoom together, complete with popcorn and hot chocolate. Host a Lego contest for making cars, planes, houses, etc., where everyone wins some nominal prize. The most colorful, the most complicated, the biggest, the smallest. Do something different that's just for fun and make it a regular thing. Like this week, we're going to have a Zoom dance party. Next week, our fun factor, maybe it'll be that Lego contest.
Yeah, that's a great idea. I mean, you can get your kids involved in creating some sort of a weekly schedule.
Exactly, exactly. Or, every other week if weekly is too much for you to handle. But having a zany, crazy night or day or activity is really helpful right now to boost our spirits. And finally, my last tip is discover and nurture a hobby. Try something you've always wanted to do or your kids have always wanted to do. Experiment with a few ideas and have a brainstorm where you make a big list and everything goes down on that list. It's all okay. Whether it's learning to knit, play the ukulele, draw, sew, do puzzles, make jewelry, create your own live action videos, movies, or electronic music, identify and pursue an interest. Consider reading all of the Percy Jackson, Harry Potter, or Emma Greystone series books again, or listening to them on Audible. One of my favorite things to do with my kids was to listen to Charlie and the Chocolate Factory being read by Roald Dahl. He has a fantastic voice, and it's so much fun to do that. Everybody, no matter their age, loves hearing a great story. So add that in. And maybe you do one of these things each week. That's why I gave you four. Um, so that you can have a month full of activity, except for going outside. That should be definitely more than once a month.
Yeah, that should be daily if you can, right, Dr. Sharon Saline?
Exactly. Daily exercise, go outside, but the other 3 you could rotate through the month.
Yeah, that sounds like a wonderful plan to break up the boredom. Thanks so much for joining me today.
You're welcome. Thank you so much for having me and have a wonderful week.
You too.